Greetings and welcome back. We are playing Distant Worlds Shadows. Oh, no we're not. I got myself. We're playing Distant Worlds Universe. Yeah, I wonder how many times I'm going to do that. Anyways, welcome back. And we're about to get this game started finally. So we've set up all our pre-game options and got some stuff built. And I guess there's nothing more to do except for starting the game. And if you're new, I would suggest playing this part of the game at 4x speed. Just because, whoa, okay. That sounded awful loud in my headphones. I'm just going to turn this down. There. Okay, let's try this again. That's a little better. Okay. Alright, so we're off and running. The game's fired up. As you can see, our cash flow has dropped into the negative. And if we zoom in, we can see our spaceport being built. Whoop. Once we get this out of the way. So we have a pirate that's just come across, and he says, "Greeting to our victims. You may have noticed we are about to attack you, but for the small price of 328 credits per month, we can avoid this unnecessary violence." So I guess we're going to pay it because we have absolutely no ships to protect ourselves. And they'll just come along and destroy all the stuff we just queued up if we don't pay it. So we're going to definitely pay that. Yeah, they just have no choice in the early game, so just do it. Okay, so now they're saying we have avoided a pirate raid in our homeworld. In the past, there were rumors of secret visits from the Star Travelers, but recently these visitors from the stars have begun to appear openly. Some are hostile, taking whatever they want by force. Others come in peace and trade. And ancient legends speak of a time when our own ancestors once traveled amongst the stars, but with the great forgetting, all this knowledge was lost. Many of our people say now that the time for us to return to the stars. With the technology that we have acquired from some of our stellar visitors, it should be possible to once again become a spacefaring civilization. Okay, so yes. And I was pointing out there's our space station just about built. Okay, so and there's the pirate. And they should go and start clobbering those space creatures over here, I would think. Yep, here he comes. Whether he'll be successful or not, I don't know. And we have our first spaceport constructed. And we have constructed a spaceport. Large orbital base serves as a shipyard, allowing us to build many different types of starships. So basically, starports we build all our military ships at. You can't build those at planets. The construction of a new spaceport has galvanized the resolve of our population, providing a short-term boost to our economy. Our new spaceport also provides a hub to trade. Let me start that one over. Our new spaceport also provides a hub for trade and commerce. Freighters will deliver cargo here, and ships can refuel here. As our technology progresses, we should upgrade our spaceport with other capabilities, shields and weapons for defense, research labs, sensors, and more. So we'll definitely have to get going on that. But right now I'm going to hit pause. Now that we have a spaceport, we can build some ships, finally. So what we're going to do is okay, I should explain this too. I don't use the build order screen. I've explained this a few times in other playthroughs, but I just don't find there's enough control in here for me. Especially later in the game. Right now it's not so bad, but once I get more than one spaceport, I find where stuff gets built is sometimes cumbersome. So I don't use this build order screen at all. Instead, I use the construction yard screen. Okay, so there's our planet where we queued up all our construction ships and research stations and everything. Okay, so that's one space yard. And the only thing we can build here is basically bases, colony ships, construction ships, I think a resupply ship. And I think that's about all we can actually build at the planet. There might be one or two more things, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. Everything else has to come from a spaceport. So that would include our escorts, our frigates, and our exploration ships, of which I'm going to build one right now. Just going to build one, that's all we need. So you got to be very careful with the money in the early game. Okay, so we got an exploration ship queued up. And see how that pirate made out with those slugs over here. He took off. So he didn't get rid of them. We'll have to come over and do that ourselves. There's one there and there's one there. Sometimes the pirates will clean those out for you, but I guess we'll have to do that manually ourselves. Okay, so we have an exploration ship here. Okay, see that circle? Just take note of how big it is. Okay, because I'm going to do something here that's new for Universe. If we click on the design, it brings up the design screen, which we were in earlier to put more engines on. Okay, these values up here are changeable on the fly, which means you don't need to retrofit or redesign to change these values. Okay, including the image scaling at the top. This is new for Universe. Okay, so all these you can change on the fly. You can go to standoff on that if you want, and whatever, right? But we're going to go evade because it's an exploration ship. But you can change those on the fly, save, and then the change is made. So you don't have to retrofit to any of these changes here. Same with this. So what I'm going to do, there's 3 settings here. There's none, absolute, and scaled. I'm going to go to scaled, and I'm going to make this ship 75% of normal size. Okay, so it's going to appear to be a bit smaller, but that is just appearance. It does not affect how tough the ship is or anything like that. It's going to be smaller is all. So we'll save that. And now if you look at that, it looks a lot smaller. It was like about that big earlier. So now it's a lot smaller. So if you have, if you're tired of your large spaceports always being around your, covering up your planet, you can reduce the size of them so they're like this. So that's a new option in Universe. Another new option too is before, if you wanted to select this planet and there's a bunch of stuff on it and you can't get to it, you used to have to come out to the system or the system view to this point, select the planet that way, and then come back in. Well, you don't have to do that anymore because now when you click on a stack of stuff, the planet is actually included. So there, you just do that and you select the planet. So that's new with Universe as well. Big improvement on that. Okay, so we'll carry on. So we'll just reselect that exploration ship. Actually, no, we won't. We'll have a quick look at our planet now. Now that I've dropped the taxes, we went from +8 population growth to +29%. So that's going to grow this planet up really quick. In fact, I would almost put money on it that we'll have this growing up and maxed out before we even get warp cores, which is very beneficial for the early game. That puts us way in the lead for the early game. And what happens after that, I don't know. We'll probably end up being overrun, but we'll see. And I just noticed we have a scenery bonus on here, too, of 34%. So we can build it later on, once we get the tech, we can build a resort base to go on this planet as well. So it's very handy when there's a scenery bonus on your home world. That gives you a lot of bonus income over the course of the game. Okay, so I guess we'll carry on. And if these are quick select buttons on the side here. If you haven't, if you're new and you're wondering what these are, so if we can just open that up, we can see there's our exploration ship. We can select it from here, and it's now built. So things go pretty quick at 4x speed. So just beware of that. If it's going too fast, just slow it back down to regular speed. Okay, so we have constructed our first starship, the Tarnished Fantasy, which is an exploration ship. This event marks the beginning of a new return to the stars. We must continue to expand and explore our solar system, build more ships to establish a thriving solar empire. And that's what we will do. So let's just pause for a second. So we already know what's on that moon. 27%, let's just select the moon here. We got 27% lead. 25% gold, and 24% steel. Now these are the mining rates. This is how fast a mining ship or a mining station will extract these resources. So basically you want to try and get enough resources on a single planet to add that all these percentages add up to at least 120%. And that way you're making good money off it, and it's not costing you anything to get the resources. But optimally, that's what you want to do, is look for 120%. Now with Universe, because the resources are more thinly spread, I guess, we're going to end up with a whole bunch of planets that have like one resource at 50% or something. So those aren't really optimal to do any mining on. And we'll actually come back and talk about this in a bit once we've explored a few things. Okay, so let's select our exploration. Now the absolute first thing we gotta do is find fuel, and it looks like the pirates just found it before us. They're coming in to build a gas mining station there, so guaranteed there's Kevlar on that. Kevlar that I need. And unfortunately, I can't do anything about this right now. I have no ships to fight that off or take it or nothing. So we're just going to have to live with the fact that they came in and took a source of Kevlar off us. So now we have to actually find another source, and hopefully there's one in here, or this is going to be a very interesting start. But I'm confident because we have 5 more gas giants here. So I'm hoping one of them will have at least a trickle of Kevlar on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this planet first. Actually, no, I'll come to this one first. So we'll move there, and then I'm going to come over to where this abandoned ship is. I don't want the pirates getting this, because if the pirates get that, that makes for a very bad start. And it could actually mean end of game if they get that. So very important we get that first. Now we have a construction ship finished as well now. Yeah, that's come up in the messages here. So we don't really know any places to actually... Oh, I know what I forgot to do on that construction ship too. Okay, there's one component I want to put on this construction ship. We'll have to retrofit this. Okay, so we're going to revise the design here. Into here, and we're going to go back to the construction ship, which we have 1 of, or 2 of now, or 2 queued up anyways. So we're not going to be able to edit this anymore. We're going to have to manually upgrade it. So I'm just going to take the Mark II out of here. I use the Mark system for something else. I'm just going to call this a revision A. And I am going to put a resource profile sensor on this. Okay. And this is basically the same component that the exploration ship has, that's able to see what resources are on a planet. So I'm going to put it on our construction ship as well. So I'm going to save that. Okay. So now I'm going to select this, and we now have an upgrade option. This button will look a little different on your version. This has been a modded button. But this is the retrofit to latest design button. And it's going to cost us 83 credits to do this. So we'll just hit that. We'll retrofit this thing first and get that component on there. I usually put that on when I first design that. But okay, we have a research station constructed. So this is one of the first research stations I had queued up. Constructing a research station gives a huge bonus to our research efforts, allowing us to achieve technology breakthroughs faster. This event has galvanized the resolve of our population, providing a short-term boost to our economy. Stationing suitable scientists at the orbital high-tech station will improve our research even more. Now, I don't think we have any scientists yet. And we don't. They'll show up in this screen here. We did get an ambassador, but there's nothing to do with him right now, so we'll just leave him alone. And he picked up another trait. He's now organized. And I know that's... yeah, it's flying off the recording window, unfortunately, but... organized means he's plus 10% military ship construction speed, plus 10% civilian construction speed, and plus 10% colony ship construction speed. So he's given us some boosts in those areas, and there they are listed here. Okay, so he picked up another trait. It was a good one, so thank God for that. Okay, so what was I talking about? I guess we can just keep going then. Get this retrofitted. Fortunately, we're going to have to wait for that one to finish first and all these constructions. But that's okay. The reason we have to wait, if we come into the planet and go to the construction yard, we'll see that we're still building our research stations. So they're going to have to be done first. And actually, what I can do, and this is the brand new constructor, which hasn't even been done yet. This is the one we're retrofitting. So what I'm going to do is just move him up. Okay, I'll move him up before the weapons research. So we'll rearrange that queue a bit and get that construction ship retrofitted. Okay, so the retrofit should be done now. There we go. So now he has a resource profile sensor on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chance And say one of these has Kevlar on it. I don't know which one yet. We got the Explorer coming over here first. So what I might do is queue this up to build. And I've got my construction ship selected. And I'm right clicking and build a gas miner right there. We don't know what's on it yet, but once he gets there with his profile sensor, I'll be able to see before I start mining. If I remember to check on that before he actually starts. Okay, and there's a third weapons base done, or research base done. So, let's come in here, go back to research stations, and there they are, along with our spaceport, which also has labs on it. So there's a component on each of these that's called the lab, and it's providing us research values here. 120 on each of those stations, and 20 of each on this spaceport, which has brought us up to 94K on everything. So we can just get some scientists now and bump those numbers a bit. We should be good. So we're hovering around potential, but yeah, not bad. So we're still a little below potential, but I'm not going to worry about it. That's good for the early game. We'll be increasing those numbers as we go. And we'll see just what's on this. That's a pretty tiny Explorer. I hope you guys can see it. We might overdid it with that scaling. Okay. So what's on here? Hydrogen. So that's not a fuel source. Okay. So let's select our Explorer. And we'll move him over to this derelict, or this abandoned ship. And make sure we claim that. And then at the same time, we'll see if there's Kevlar on that. Kevlar is your main fuel for the early game, and then you switch to hydrogen later on. No, the option to switch to hydrogen. It's up to you. And I apologize to anybody who's watched all this before. I know this is a bit of a process to get things going and not very exciting. But okay, so we've encountered an abandoned ship. Radio transmission from the ship repeats over and over. This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it. And that's all we can get out of this ship. And should we investigate it? Yep, we'll investigate. Okay, we investigate an abandoned frigate. And we board it and taken control. And we can disassemble it for a tech boost, which we'll do later. Or we can keep it and use it, which I think we'll do right now. And it's also revealing some intriguing information, giving us navigational directions to system in Sector E7. So let's just pause for a second, zoom out. Sector E7. Way over here. There it is. Yeah, so we're not getting there for a while. But there's something there we'll have to go investigate later. So yeah, if you're new to the game, this is the actual overall galaxy map here. And we can probably see it better if I go into this screen here, the Open Galaxy Map screen. Okay. And this is our entire galaxy. And our system is this little dot right here. So we click on that little dot. Brings up another window here with a bunch more dots. And we actually live on that dot. So you can sort of look at this and sort of just grasp the scale of the game. And keep in mind, this is only 700 stars. We can have twice as many stars as shown here, too. We can go up to 1,400 stars. So looking at this, you can see just how big the game is. And these are all the planets that we're currently looking at in our system. Our Explorer just passed that one and is heading for that one. And there's a high-tech bonus, research bonus on that one, too. And we don't know the resource because we haven't approached it yet. But yeah, you can sort of get a feel for how big the game is from this screen. Anyways, back to what we're doing. And we're just about to approach this planet. And we'll see what's on it. No fuel, but there is helium here, which is another important resource. And this ship that we just acquired, I think I'm just going to bring up the homeworld. And we'll get you to sit right there. And I also notice we have another construction ship ready to go. So what I think I might do, I'm going to load it up to build a mining station of some kind. Because I want him to actually repair this ship, but on his way he might as well bring some resources and build a station on his way. That way we'll kill two birds with one stone, but it's just what kind of station do we need? Just a regular mining station? Or should I build a gas mining station? I just don't know what's on these yet. Okay, let's do this. We'll build a gas mining station, or potentially build one. And where are you going? I must have misclicked him or something. Okay, you come over and see what these are. Actually, you might as well go see what that is. We'll figure that out before the construction ship gets there. We got another construction ship coming here, so we'll have to take care on what we're doing down here once they get there. Oh, pirates, pirates, pirates. Taking my stuff. Okay, so we've approached a ruin. So we've discovered the great monastery of Thespis. Ancient ruins from a lost civilization. Okay, so our sensors indicate that the ruins appear completely deserted. So should we investigate? Yes, we should. Okay, in the ruins of the great... Okay, though they're very difficult to decipher, this store of knowledge has given us enough understanding to begin researching the project warp field precursors. So in these ruins we found some technology that has actually opened up the field of warp field precursors for research. Okay, so we'll just pause for a sec. We'll come in here, and this is under the energy tab. This is an energy technology. So there it is right there. That was previously grayed out until we unlocked that event. So right now we're researching SHIELD. We're going to come down and do space construction, which will give us a little bit bigger ships. And then we're going to come up and do the warp field precursors. So I'm just going to queue that up now so I don't forget. Okay. So we'll carry on. And you... So he got that on his flyby. He was just flying by coming to here. Which is Kazlon. Perfect. It's not a very good source of it, but well, it's a decent enough. It's just 87%, isn't it? Oh, what are you doing here? Okay, these pirates are going to be a pain. I can tell that right now. Okay, well, come over and see what this rune is. Must be going for, what is it, Ice Moon? It's probably Tidarius on there. Okay, so we approached another rune. Our inspection reveals that the ruins lie amidst the vast rocky plain blanketed by thousands of geothermal steam vents. And this has given us detailed maps of 10 surrounding systems. And as good as that is, it really disappoints me every time I get that. It's for the simple reason that, if we zoom out, ooh, all the close by stuff has been explored now, or most of it, which means my early game exploration's pretty much out the window at this point. So we might have a bit of a lull in the game where I'm not going to have a whole lot to do. But I see we have a planet of Daiuts right beside us. Okay, well that's going to make things interesting. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these systems. 5 planets, 5 moons. Some fuel in there. 5 planets, 5 moons. 6 planets, 1 moon. And there's pirates in that one. Numbered systems are generally just a star and that's it. There's no planets with them. Okay. 4 planets, 4 moons. So as you can see, there's not very, at least in this handful, 6 planets too. The systems you used to see in Shadows are, 12 moons, and 16 planets and stuff like that. Those are very rare in universe. But at the same time, you can have one single planet with 7 or 8 resources on it. So things have been tweaked out in that regard. Okay, so let's finish up in here. Let's just go see what you have. Yeah, Tiberius and 2 luxuries. So we'll definitely want to grab that off them when we get the chance. And we'll go over and see what this is. Okay, that's hydrogen and helium. Both important, but not what we're looking for. So we'll see what the last one here is. And I do have a construction ship on its way to build a gas mining station there. So hopefully this will work out. I got one coming there, and there is Kevlar on it, so I'll let that one come anyways. Okay, we now have shield technology. So I'm just going to wait for armor, and we'll do a retrofit on our bases with both of those components once we get them. And we'll see what's on this planet. And no fuel there. So the only source of fuel that we have in the early game is going to be this one. Because the pirates came in and took our other one. I still, yeah, that would have been premium to get that one. But we'll get it. I'll build a capture fleet and we'll go over and capture these eventually. Okay, so continuing on. Now this guy. Yeah, what do I do with him now that he's loaded up for a gas giant? That one. So we'll get helium. Helium is very important. Let's just come into the expansion planner here for a second. Helium. Where's helium? Click on that. This is not very many components helium is used for, but they're important. Our pulse blasters, max early game blasters, warp bubble generators, like all the early game stuff, Jerex, Epsilon torpedoes, all use this resource. Phaser lances is a bit further down, but hyper deny is a bit further down too. But pulse blasters we're using right away, so very important in the early game, and we only have 1,100 units of it with no source. So we're going to make sure we redirect you over to get this. Because he's already got, if we double click the construction ship name and we come into the cargo hold, he's bringing all this cargo over to build that station with. So he's already loaded up with it. So what I'm going to do now is just redirect him to build it over here instead. Build a gas mining station there. So he won't have to go around, turn around and get supplies. He'll just come over and use the supplies he has to build that rather than there. Okay, and the other construction ship is good to go there. That's fine. Okay, and we'll just continue. Oh, I guess we can't continue exploring because we know everything now. Because of those maps we found included our system. So now we know everything about our system. So that kills my exploration for the early game. So we'll just put him on automate for now. And he'll go around and look at the pretty rocks and figure all that stuff out. So we don't need to micromanage that anymore. And I see we're coming up on our half hour, but we'll maybe try and get these stations up and building before we take off. And we now have armor. So what I'm going to do now is come in and redesign all our bases so that they can take a few shots without falling to the ground, sort of thing. Okay, so small spaceport will manually upgrade. And we will put 500 shields on there, or armor on there. We will put 2,500 shields. And I'm looking down this box here at those values. Armor 500, shields 2,500. So this is all your defensive values here. This is all your firepower and everything there. Or whatever industry happens to be on it, any movement if it's a ship. So I believe Das will probably go through all this stuff. So be sure to check out his series. Okay, so what we need is need more hab modules, hab and life support now. Every time you increase your size of your ship, you generally need more of those. And that's all I'm going to do for now. Just get the shield and armor on there. And I'm going to just do that for everything I have right now. So manually upgrade. Just going to put 100 armor on there and 500 shields for this one. More life and hab. And I think that's all I'm going to do here as well. Like I said, don't go overboard in the early game. You'll end up running yourself broke if you do. So just take things in steps. And one more. And we'll save those. And we'll also do our private bases. And these are the gas mining stations and the other mining stations. So we'll put 100 armor. I'll go 600 shields on this. Just for now. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Excess energy output is 29, and our weapons are using 21. Our shields are using almost 2. So 23 is our total energy per second being used. And our excess output is 29 per second. So you want to make sure this number is always bigger than that and that added together. If it's a ship, then it's that, and your crew's energy added together. And that's a pretty good rule of thumb. Okay, so I guess we're done in there. Okay, 100 of those, 600 shields, and that's it. Okay, so that's all we'll do in there. And we don't have a design for passenger ships. We just got that technology, so we don't actually have a passenger ship design yet. So what we'll do is we'll just pop back in here. We'll go to private ships. That's what a passenger ship is. Okay, and the easiest way to create a new ship is just to copy an existing one. So I'm going to grab the medium freighter, and we'll come down to copy as new. You can add new, but well, we'll just do that quickly. But you have to completely design the ship from the ground up. Yeah, so you have to start right from the ground and build the entire ship. So as an easier way to doing this, we're just going to copy as new. And that'll bring everything over on that design into this design. We just need to rename it, and it's a luxury liner, I guess. It's a passenger transport. And we will change the role, which will now be a passenger ship. And we'll change the graphic just a little bit. There, that's fine. And we now have a new warning that it needs a passenger storage compartment. So we'll come down here, and there's a passenger storage, and we will take the cargo off because this is no longer a cargo ship. It's going to be a passenger ship. So we'll pull the 6th cargo off, and we'll put 6 passengers on. Okay. We'll save it, and that's all there is. So that was pretty easy ship design. So copying as new is preferable. The only thing you have to watch is that you don't leave old parts that aren't needed from the old design. Okay. So now we have that done, and we'll just retrofit all our bases now so that they all have shields and armor. So we'll start with our spaceport, and we'll select it, and right-click, retrofit, and I'm out of money. I need money to do this. Okay, well, I guess we'll retrofit next episode. I have to do a quick tax adjustment to get some money happening. So let's just have a look at our homeworld here for a sec. Yeah, 6.6 billion. So that's growing nicely. So what I'll have to do next episode is drop the taxes a bit, or increase the taxes to get a bit of cash flow going and get our money built up a bit. So we'll do that next time. So if you're still with me, thanks for joining me, and we'll catch you next time.